Few kings in history are remembered as much as King Henry VIII. People know him for his huge size, his break with the Catholic Church, and his many marriages that seemed as dramatic as a play. He ruled England with both courage and force. But behind the rich clothes, big feasts, and loud speeches, there was another story, one filled with pain, fear, and a terrible injury that never healed. It began in 1536 with a terrible accident. Henry fell from his horse during a jousting match, and from that moment his health slowly went downhill. That fall changed not only his life, but also the future of England. When Henry was young, he was the perfect Renaissance prince. He was tall, handsome, and athletic. He loved jousting, he played music, and he supported art and learning. His court was full of beauty and style, admired all across Europe. Yet even with all this, Henry wanted one thing more than anything else, a son to inherit his throne. His need for a male heir shaped many of his decisions, including leaving the Catholic Church so he could marry Anne Boleyn. But all of Henriette's strength and charm began to fade after his accident during a joust with Sir Henry Norris. The crash was terrible. Wearing full armor, Henry was thrown from his horse, and then the horse fell right on top of him. He was knocked out for hours, and many feared he would die. At the time, Anne Boleyn was pregnant, and when she heard the news, she was deeply upset. Just days later, she lost the baby, a boy. Many believed this tragedy destroyed her future as queen. Soon she was accused of crimes and executed. The accident didn't just bruise Henry's body, it changed him forever. His legs were badly injured and painful ulcers began to form. They never healed properly and often became infected. Doctors tried harsh treatments like burning the wounds with hot irons, but nothing worked. Henry, once full of energy, now walked with a limp and was in constant pain. This pain also changed his mind. He grew angry more easily and trusted people less. The young, friendly king who once loved music and sports became harsh and unpredictable. In the same year of the accident, he ordered Anne Boleyn's execution and quickly married Jane Seymour. Jane gave him the son he always wanted, Edward VI, but she died soon after giving birth, leaving Henry alone again. As the years passed, Henry's wounds grew worse and his lack of exercise made him gain a lot of weight. He was no longer the lively, strong prince people remembered. Instead, he was a sick and bitter king, whose pain shaped the way he ruled. Henry's love for food became famous. He ate huge meals, roasted meats, fancy pies, and drank plenty of ale and wine. As he grew older, his weight went over 300 pounds. He became so heavy that he needed machines to help him move. His armor had to be remade with a waist size of 52 inches, showing just how large he had become. Still, even though he could hardly walk, Henry held on to power. From his throne, he continued to make big decisions that changed England. He shut down monasteries, took their wealth for the crown, and forever changed the way the monarchy and the church worked together. His image as a powerful king remained, even though his body was weak and filled with pain. But Henry's pride also made things worse. He loved showing off his legs, which people once admired, so he wore tight garters and fancy clothes even when they hurt him. These outfits made his ulcers worse, but Henry would not give up looking like the king he believed himself to be. Talking about the king's sickness was dangerous. Just spreading rumors about it could cost someone their life. In fact, nobles were once executed for saying they thought Henry might die from his wounds. His ulcers grew so bad that people at court said the smell of his legs could be noticed from rooms away. The pain changed Henry's mood. He grew crueler, quicker to anger, and harsher in punishment. Friends, advisors, even nobles who had served him for years could be sent to the scaffold if they upset him. Many were executed for the smallest of reasons. In later years, doctors and historians have wondered what exactly was wrong with Henry. Some think he may have had diabetes or heart disease. Others believe his weight and his leg ulcers were connected. But in Henry's own time, no one really knew. In January 1547, Henry VIII died at the age of 55. His health had collapsed under the strain of his obesity, infections, and possible kidney failure. His death ended a dramatic reign, but his influence carried on. He left England forever changed. The Catholic Church's authority was broken, the Church of England was born, and the Crown had more power than ever before. By taking over church lands and wealth, Henry made the monarchy richer and stronger. His actions also set the stage for years of religious conflict and reform. Even though Henry was driven by his personal wishes, like wanting a son, his choices shaped England for centuries. After Henry's death, his children, Edward VI, Mary I, and Elizabeth I, each took the throne one after another. But they all had to deal with the chaos their father left behind. Edward VI became king as a boy. He pushed Protestant changes even further, but he died very young. After him, Mary I ruled. A strong Catholic, she tried to undo the Reformation and bring England back to the Catholic Church. Her harsh punishments against Protestants earned her the nickname Bloody Mary. Finally came Elizabeth I, the daughter of Anne Boleyn. She grew into one of England's greatest rulers, leading during a time of exploration, art, and more peace in religion. Each of Henry's children faced the storms he had started, but Henry's story is not just about power or politics. His last years were not glorious but filled with pain and decline. His leg ulcers were more than a sickness, they became a symbol of his downfall. The constant pain made him angrier and more suspicious. It shaped his decisions, ruined friendships, and even played a part in the deaths of his wives and advisors. Though Henry lived in a palace surrounded by riches and velvet, his suffering spread through the court. His courtiers often lived in fear, never knowing when the king's anger might fall on them. The once handsome, lively prince who spoke many languages, played music, and loved learning had become a lonely, bitter man. His body, which he had once been so proud of, betrayed him in the end. Henry's decline is a powerful reminder that even kings are human. His personal pain spilled into the politics of an entire country. His anger changed laws, his fear reshaped faith, and his wounds became part of England's history. So Henry VIII is remembered not only for his 6 wives or breaking from the Catholic Church. He is remembered as a ruler whose life mixed great ambition with great suffering. His story shows us that the health of one man, especially a king with so much power, can shape the destiny of a nation.